By now, you all know I'm not the biggest fan of Jake Paul.
He's a cyberbully.
Hold on. I'm not bullying anyone, I'm just criticizing a public figure.
Cyberbully.
Jake, why on earth are you accusing anyone else of being a cyberbully when you actually have a history of bullying people?
Cyberbully.
Okay. Well, I guess today, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be cyberbullying Jake Paul. Wait, YouTube, please, come on, I'm just kidding. Whew, close one. What's up, everybody? It's Hunter Avallone here, and welcome to another video. Today, we're taking a little break from talking about politics to instead talk about politics. I'll see myself off. This is the latest batch of YouTube drama, and it features YouTube's village idiot Jake Paul calling out and confronting another YouTuber named Cody Ko. Now, you all remember Jake Paul, right? The guy who got famous in 2017 for making a music video everyone literally hated. That horrible song that subtly weaves its way into my day-to-day life every day, bro. The guy who's notorious for making low IQ content, acting like a reckless imbecile, and of course, getting sued. Jake Paul is a lot like the overlooked middle child. He acts out when he wants some attention. Now, since his rise in 2017, Jake's relevance has been on a steady decline, and as he slips further into the black hole of forgotten trends, he's behaving even more like a joke. Although this petty YouTube drama is not directly political, I still think there are a lot of interesting things we can learn from this situation. I think this entire scenario clearly depicts the snowflake generation we all live in. As I observed this petty drama, I couldn't help but notice how Jake Paul is a snowflake playing victim. I also like how this drama brings concerns to the forefront that many of my critics levy against me. Where is the line, and when does a joke go too far? So let's start from the beginning. As most horror stories do, this one begins with Jake Paul. Now, you may not like him, you may find him slightly obnoxious, but sadly, Jake Paul has fallen victim to cyberbullying. That's right, everyone. The big, mean, scary YouTube giant Cody Ko has been picking on the little guy Jake Paul until finally Jake has had enough. Last week, Jake posted a video titled Confronting Internet Bully Cody Ko, where Jake rambles for nearly 15 minutes trying to construct what I can only imagine is some kind of argument against bullying. Honestly, I don't really know. It looked a lot more like a snowflake playing victim to me.
I'm not YouTube's hero. I'm not here to like save the day and like, you know, do like all this stuff, but this guy Cody Ko is a bully. He's a cyber bully.
Well, it appears Jake is a victim to his own stupidity. Thank you, Jake, for letting us all know how you're not YouTube's hero, and thank you for not doing whatever the hell that was. I don't know, it looked like some kind of seizure.
And I fucking hate cyberbullies. Like, I hate it. It's the worst thing in the world. People hiding behind their computers, talking shit about other people. It's consumed our generation. It's consumed our society. And I think it's largely in part to do with these negative trolls.
What you're calling talking crap is actually just criticism. Cody has been critical of your mediocre content, but you cannot conflate criticism with cyberbullying. Jake Paul is really embodying our snowflake generation in this video, writing off criticism as hate and using his deluded understanding to justify confronting someone he doesn't like. In reality, criticism is a good thing. In fact, it should be encouraged. How else do you plan on growing and maturing? I think part of the reason Jake hasn't matured is because he isn't criticized enough. He's a complete snowflake because he's surrounded by yes men, and any kind of criticism he believes is victimizing him.
For the video, you should definitely dress up as the thing that everybody in America hates most.
I can't imagine like being a human and having this much hatred inside. Like,
are you sure about that?
And I fucking hate cyberbullies. Like, I hate it. And I can only imagine the ripple effect that this has to his audience, for them to be like in school and be like what the is that? What's that backpack? Like, who is that girl? Look at that girl sitting by herself at lunch. Like, think of how far that hatred goes to his...
Jake, do us all a favor and stop virtue signaling and try and hold yourself to the same standard. By that logic, what if your fans go and set a swimming pool on fire? You cannot hold a content creator responsible for the actions of their followers unless they directly call for an action to be taken. This is deeply flawed and shallow logic that's become far too common among my generation, and it's constantly used by leftist shills. A good example of this happening in our political world was when Trump tweeted about a ridiculous liberal US senator. Then some of Trump's 60 million followers tweeted death threats or sent this senator some nasty messages. The media was quick to blame Donald Trump for this, despite Trump never advocating for these actions to be taken. This weak guilt by association not only rears its ugly head in our political world, but in our day-to-day life as well, as demonstrated by Jake's video. It's really sad to see Jake Paul using the exact same flawed logic that so many leftist hacks use as well.
Videos that are getting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 9 million views. And I challenge you guys to remove any hate that's within you. And if you are jealous of someone, if you don't like someone, if you find yourself talking shit about someone, change that narrative and change that conversation, and don't be a part of just bringing people down.
Well, this is just plain hypocritical coming from the guy making a nearly 20-minute video designed to take someone down. If you want to call out a YouTuber, be my guest, but don't hide behind this virtuous facade as if you have no idea exactly what you're doing. After Jake's pathetic ramblings, which make it obvious that he's trying to justify his actions, he then proceeds to confront this cyberbully.
I am going to confront Cody Ko in person today. I'm gonna be hiding in that closet, and then Jeff is going to ask Cody a question about me, and I am going to come out after that.
Pay close attention to Tony the Tiger right here. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but as we continue watching through this video, this guy constantly sucks up to Jake, which just reaffirms my earlier point that Jake is a snowflake because he's surrounded by yes men. So after Jake had his ass kissed a while, he shows up to confront Cody Ko. As Cody was minding his own business, Jake the Rat came out of nowhere like the Black Plague and cursed us all with this incredibly awkward encounter.
What's up, fam?
Are you trying to find me?
What up, fam?
Be nice. I don't want to fight. No, do it again. Sit down.
No, do what again?
Come in, but
Come in what? Nicer?
come in nicer.
Could you just imagine for 1 second how uncomfortable this would be? Just minding your own business, getting your hair cut, and then boom, Jake Paul pops out of nowhere like a Jake in the box.
You cyberbullies kids, bro.
Kids.
You
You're a
cyberbullies
kid.
kids, bro. I don't like that.
Which kids?
I don't like cyberbullies, and you're a cyberbully.
I'm sorry, man.
Hey, man.
You said sorry, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for bullying you.
So here is a crystal clear depiction of Jake behaving just like the SJWs I constantly criticize. Sure, this isn't a political debate, but this is an argument, and Jake is bringing forward accusations. However, when pressed, when questioned, Jake fails to substantiate his claims and instead points fingers like a pathetic child. I don't just criticize this behavior because it's predominantly on the left. I criticize this behavior because it's illogical, it doesn't make any sense when it comes to having a reasonable discussion, and it is the basis for leftist thinking. This shallow-minded echo chamber behavior has infected our society from politics to culture, and it's very sad seeing such a huge YouTube star fall victim to this same pathetic mindset.
For real, there's kids out there, I've met girls who you've gone in on, and I don't f with it. I don't need to bring up their names to cause drama for them. You know what I'm saying? But that shit that you do, you sitting in front of a camera, actually can resonate into people's hearts, and that's not cool. I just don't like it.
So never mind the fact that Jake failed to elaborate on his claims yet again. Next, he gets up here and starts preaching like Jesus talking to a sinner. This guy looks like an aggressive youth pastor. Well, it appears Jake is not YouTube's hero, but he is YouTube's Jesus. Only instead of multiplying the bread, he multiplied Cody's fan base.
Where's the barrier? Where do you stop? Where's the line? You know, where is it funny versus That's f***ed up, and like you're spreading like a lot of shit on the internet. That's bad.
I mean, we all have different lines.
This is a really good discussion, which is very common in political debates, so I'm really happy to see this coming up in pop culture as well. This is a question that many have asked me. Where is the line? As someone who delivers very offensive jokes at times, this is something I've had to think over and decide for myself. And Cody is exactly right. Everyone does have their own line. Some people may find jokes about murder funny. Others may find it off-putting. Some people may find Cody's jokes funny. Other crybabies may find it insulting. But this right here is one of the many reasons why I'm proud to call myself a conservative. Conservatism doesn't only affect politics, but it affects your day-to-day life and the way you think. Not only does conservatism allow people with controversial opinions the opportunity to speak, but it affords you the same opportunity to not listen. This is why I will always be a proud free speech advocate. People should be allowed to make jokes even if it crosses your line.
Yeah. So like comedians.
He didn't really seem like he was trying to budge. Like you were pretty understanding, you know? And you were trying to like find like a new perspective, and I don't think he was really open to that.
No, yeah.
He was just kind of deflecting the whole time.
Ah yes, after this pathetic little argument where Jake did nothing but repeat himself, his little yes man now gives him the encouragement he so desperately needs. Poor Jake, you know, he's just such a snowflake, he'll never have anyone give it to him straight. Except me.
I'm on one side of the spectrum.
Finally, after the awkward confrontation, Jake reacts to the footage and mocks Cody?
He's like sick. Oh, look at his face. Look at how nervous he is.
Well, this is just rich. Jake is a flaming hypocrite. In the beginning of his video, he says this.
Cyberbullies, like I hate it. It's the worst thing in the world. People hiding behind their computers, talking shit about other people.
So for the first half, Jake insults Cody from the safety of behind his computer.
There's a douchebag named Cody Co, and we are about to f his life up. But like, I do want to get a point across that like, Cody, you are a piece of
That's true.
But when confronted, Jake's tone changes a bit. He begins to suck up to Cody a little bit and admits that Cody is really funny.
Yeah, you're hilarious, bro. Like you're hilarious. That's not what anyone's debating. Why am I holding this microphone?
But then he goes right back to insulting him from behind his computer.
Oh, look at his face. Look at how nervous he is.
Jake Paul is everything he claims to hate. All in all, I think this debacle clearly shows what happens when you live in an echo chamber surrounded by yes men. You become a snowflake, terrified of the truth, deeming any opposition as hate, which victimizes you. It's incredibly important that we all expose ourselves to opposition. As we've seen countless times, hiding from opposing viewpoints from the safety of your safe space does nothing beneficial for anyone. Secondly, I think this reveals how important the protection of free speech is. How important it is that you don't enforce your line on other people and expect them to abide by it. It's laughable that after almost 2 years, Jake Paul is even more of a loser, hiding from criticism. Jake Paul has hit an all-time low. Please give this video a like, comment below, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks everyone for watching. Peace.